Hello, my loves. Righty-ho, I have got my son's beautiful fiancée in the hot seat today. And this was just a last minute thing. She said, you got any spare time? I was like, yes. So I've prepped the nails, and they're bitten nails. She bites her nails and she doesn't normally have nails for work. This bit here is not me. This is Nibbly Nibbly, Hungry PJ. So I've prepped the nails, primed and everything, applied the forms, and I'm just going to lay the clear base down now using Diamond Nail Supply's Clarity. I keep getting people asking about my nails. I will leave the link to the video at the end of this video. Yes, so there was quite a lot of cuticle. With PJ, she gets quite a large amount of shed tissue, non-living tissue on the nail plate. It goes about halfway down normally, so I have to remove that. So prep takes a little bit longer, but it's fine. So I'm applying that thin clear base and then going straight in with design. I'm not going to file and shape the thin clear base. I'm just going to go straight in. And this is in real time, by the way. So if you need it a bit faster, by all means, speed it up. But I wanted to keep it in real time because, well, I just think, for me, sometimes I watch people's videos and I'm like, oh, this is all a bit too fast. This is rushed. So I thought I'll keep it in real time and then we can have a chat. And if I think of things like tips and stuff and information, I can give it to you rather than feel like I'm jibber jabbering 100 miles an hour. Right, so this colour I'm applying is called In Your Face, and it is an orangey neon from Naio Visions. I must admit, there's been a few marbling problems with most neons that I have come across. So some of them take a little bit of work. They're all different, but as long as they're workable, then that's okay. So this is, no it's not In Your Face, it's Fun in the Sun. I'm going to double check now because I've put it back in the drawer. Hang on. Let me have a look in the drawer. It's Fun in the Sun. I am so silly. Right, this is Fun in the Sun. And then I'm dipping into, I've had these flakes for, I don't know, a couple of years maybe. They're CJP Magic Flakes. And they kind of colour shift depending on what you put them on top of. So I'm going across the nail in a swoosh with the orange, and then along that swoosh line I'm adding the CJP Magic Flakes to kind of diffuse the orange into a clear tip. So at that point where the two meet, where the orange meets the clear tip and one sort of transcends into the other, oh, big words, the CJP Magic Flakes will kind of diffuse that harsh line and also add that iridescence and that beautiful sheen to it, because we wanted all the neon colours that I had and a clear tip. We were just like, we're doing it all. So yeah, just pushing those little flakes around, and then I'm going to go straight in and cap it all in one, then move on to the next nail. So I'm going to pick up a medium-sized bead of Clarity, let it polymerise, and then start walking it down the nail. I'm tucking it in at the cuticle and then just very gently walking it down the nail. Depending on your system really depends on how you have to work your bead. With this system, and the fact that I pick up quite wet, I don't need to keep adding monomer on my brush, so you'll see that I wipe my brush when I'm working. But with other systems that were on a bit drier, you can not have to do that. You can kind of just keep working that brush. But I work by, I move the bead, I wipe off my brush also because sometimes it gets stuck to it and you think, oh shit, I've just dolloped a bit on there. So That's how I do it, but each to their own. Everyone's different, and if your nails come out beautifully at the end, it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to check the nail, make sure I don't need to add any more, and if I do, I'll just pop a little bead down. Okay, I'm just adjusting this form because where PJ's got very, very short nails, there really isn't much of a free edge at all. So I had to kind of check the forms before I applied the product. I'd done the basic of the fitting, but you know, they're going to move about a bit, aren't they? Just using the corner of my stalk scissors to make sure that's tucked under that tiny bit of free edge. There we are. Okay. So again, thin clear base going down. Tilting the nail down so that the bead just naturally pulls away from the cuticle. Now if I'm doing longer nails or people have a bigger nail bed, then I'll lay the bead from the free edge down first and then onto the nail itself. However, PJ has tiny little nails, so it just made more sense to just go straight in. Very gentle moves with my brush. I don't want to be splatting the brush everywhere because that's just going to put air bubbles in that clear layer, which we do not want because we're doing the clear tip. So, gentle moves. There you go. And that's starting to set up now. I'm going to place a tiny little extra bead at the tip there just to make sure I've reached the length I'm going to need. Now she wanted the coffin shape, as they call it. I call it ballerina. But when you don't have a lot of length on an extension, it's very hard to get that taper without it looking odd. So the longer the nail, the more dramatic and elongated that beautiful tapered nail into that ballerina point can be. So it's worth letting the client know if they're having shorter nails, they're not going to get a dramatic taper without it making their nail beds then look out of proportion and wide. Okay, so we're going in now with Naio Nails Frantic Fuchsia. This is one of my faves. I love this. I need to order some more because I can't be without that. I really like this colour. I've had this colour for years. It sets up a little quicker than the others, but it's stunning to work with. No marbling, and it's super neon. So again, I'm swooshing it down, so it's going to the right of the nail, it's going up, and to the left of the nail, it's coming down. And we'll do the same thing again with the CJP Magic Flakes on top. They're literally just iridescent, super fine flakes. You could rub them in to an inhibition layer on gel polish and everything. So I'm sure you've all got something similar, or anything iridescent really, an iridescent glitter, or yeah, anything like that. And if I feel like the nail's drying, I'll just pick up a teeny wet bead of clear acrylic and dip that into the magic flakes. But you'll find when you use like super fine glitters or flakes, they kind of suck straight up to that bead, so you really just need a tiny little bead. And I'm just seeing a little bit where the coverage wasn't as nice, so I'm popping a little bit more on. And that's okay. Don't stress about stuff like that. I tell my students, don't stress. You can go in and make a little adjustment. Don't carry on going, oh no, I can't go back now, that's it. You can. Don't worry. Just chill. Because eventually, it all falls into place. And I'm going to cap this nail, same as the other. The next nail is going to be fun. Oh, apparently I was just picking up a clear bead and taking ages to do it. Maybe I was having a natter. I probably got distracted by someone. It's mayhem when PJ comes over with Joe because like everyone's in here chatting. So we all just kind of get on. Oh, and we were eating waffles as well. So yeah. It's what you do, isn't it? I'll be doing her wedding nails this year, so that'll be an epic set. So again, I'm trying to neaten the nail up with my brush, but I'm not too fussed. When I take the forms off and there's like bits of acrylic over where I should, it doesn't matter because they're going to come off with a file. I make the general shape of the nail as neat as possible so that I don't have to do tons of filing. But if there's a bit of acrylic hanging off, like where you've wiped it with your brush, it doesn't matter. Don't freak out. It's no biggie. Just checking that form's nice and stable before I let go. Again with this one. I know it's the index finger. My hand knocks the form off the index finger, which is quite funny. I'm just fiddling with this one as well, adjusting it. I'm like, no, I'm not happy with that. I know it takes a bit of time when you are sculpting on someone with bitten nails. It can take a bit of time to get that form to sit nicely, and it is trial and error, and it can be frustrating, and you'll be like, oh, why did I do this? But just trust in yourself, because the more times you do it, the quicker you can look at somebody's hypernicum, for example, and be like, oh, I need to make an adjustment there. You'll just see it ahead of time. But for the first, well, it could take loads. I mean, you will look at things and think, how the hell am I going to do that? Or you'll be sculpting and thinking, it's bumpy, it's bulky, I don't like it, I don't feel like it's even. All these things are going to happen. It's inevitable. But they've happened to everybody. So when we're here in YouTube land going, and just lay the bead down and pat it out and blah, 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 it's only because we've done it a gazillion times. And we include our mistakes. Most of us do. We include our mistakes on here, happily. Because that's how we learn and that's how you learn. And hopefully I shame myself so much that I don't do it again. But seriously, do nail biters. Help nail biters with their nails, because it's good learning for you. I would recommend it. It's stressful and difficult, and they will be prone to coming back because they may have had a little nibble. Right, this nail is going to have all the neon colours on it. So I've done a little bit of Frantic Fuchsia, a little bit of Fun in the Sun, and then what's this next one? Witchypoo. And In Your Face. And I'm just going to add a bit more beads of those. I'm not marbling, I'm kind of blobbing. I'm sure someone's used a really fancy word for it. I'm letting the colours disperse into each other. Does that sound posh enough? I'm just plopping them on randomly. That's the whole beauty of it. It's not really any skill involved. Anyone can do this. Just don't work thick. Remember, your colours are like a paint. If you were putting paint on a picture, you wouldn't paint upwards in a big blob of paint. You'd paint it along the paper nice and thin. So that's what you do with your coloured acrylic. Just paint it on. We're very lucky to have such pigmented colours, aren't we? That we can do that now and not have to build it 10 metres thick. If you can hear shouting, I'm actually in the salon with the window open, and Mr. B is giving Oliver a bath and he's playing, and I can hear him like shouting and laughing and playing, and So there's certain areas where the colours have blended, so I might want it a little bit more opaque here and there, just to get the intensity of the individual colours. And when I'm happy with that, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to cap it. Yes, I am. Do you remember that rhyme I said about when you're capping design work, especially glitter and stuff like that? If it ain't matte, it ain't capped. Keep an eye out for that. If it ain't matte, it ain't capped. Your design changes when you cap it with clear acrylic. It becomes less vibrant initially. That's how you know you've got it all covered. So that's a good thing. Although sometimes when you've got a client that's not used to having nails, they'll look and they'll go, I don't mean to be rude, but are they going to be shiny at the end? And I just want to kiss their foreheads when they say that. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. So cute. By the way, I hope you guys don't mind. I've got quite a few swatches and review videos coming up. They are not paid reviews. I don't do paid reviews. The main reason I was offered, if I was asked if I had a fee to do a review, and the reason why I won't at the moment, I've decided not to do that, is because I want to be able to give you an honest review, and I feel like if you take money from a company, you're then indebted to say the nice bits and not the not so nice bits. And it doesn't mean I'm out to be mean about people or companies or whatever. What I'm saying is I would like to give a first impressions honest review of a product without feeling like I am financially bound to hide things. That's what I mean. And it's better for the company, I feel, because then when you look at me using the product or reviewing the product, you know that what I'm saying is my honest opinion and not has not been manipulated in any way, and I'm not restricted as to what I can and can't say. I won't be restricted. So if a company was to say, oh, you could review our product, but you need to say blah, 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 then I would say, no, thank you. I'd rather not. I think that's fair. It's fair on you guys, otherwise it's a bit naughty, really. Right, onto the index finger. So you saw me adjust the form. I wasn't happy with the fit. I'm laying the clear layer down again, same thing again. Like I said, this is a real-time vid, so it's about 30 minutes long. So yeah, it might annoy some people. But you know what? If you're annoyed by it, you can play it faster. I believe you can play it like 1.5 times speed. I might sound slightly strange, but do that. I wouldn't waste your time moaning about it in the comments, because it's just a waste of time, isn't it? If you've got time to do that, geez. Don't get so triggered by stuff. Crikey. Crikey! Oh dear. What? Clear layers on. I'm going in with this gorgeous green neon called Witchypoo. Very rarely use green, you know. But this green's gorge. It's really nice. It's got a kind of shimmer to it as well. It's quite nice. It's from Nail Vision. I'll put all the names of what I've used and links and stuff below. My core system's Diamond Nail Supplies. It has been since November, I think. Really, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, did any of you catch the Diamond Nail Supplies sale? They had a sale on. 2 for 1. And they can now ship the full system to other countries. So if you've been waiting because you want that monomer, you better get in touch, because they can ship it now. Woo! And no, I'm not an ambassador. Right, so I've added the CJP flake. I've done exactly the same that I've done on the other nail. Just diffusing that line where colour joins clear. It's more pleasing to the eye. I'm really impressed with how the kind of iridescent glitters in general take on the colours that you put them over, which means you can use one iridescent glitter for a whole set that includes different colours, and it will look different on each nail. Love that. going to cap it in clear. So my nails have been on for about 2 weeks now, and I'm going to redo them because we're off on a little mini break next week. So all my crystals are still intact. All my nails are still intact. No problems, no lifting, just regrowth, which I hate. Oh, I got asked about my thumb, the glitter on my thumb. It's colour shifting glitter from Glitterati Nails. It's part of the Game of Thrones collection. So I'll have their website in the description so you can have a look at theirs as well. They kind of shift. This one shifts from like a pinky purple to a silver. It's pretty cool. And my Swarovskis are still as blingy as ever. This is why I like real Swarovskis, because they just bling. They bling until you stop looking at them. They're not going to stop sparkling. So stunning. So again, I'm checking the nail from all angles and I see some little dips here and there. I'm going to go in and fix that. Fix it now or forever hold your peace. Just going to check that that nail's set, take the form off. These aren't extremely long, they don't need an extreme pinch. The form's already pinched, so they've got a decent C-curve in them, so I'm not too fussed about that. If they were long, I'd give them a more dramatic C-curve. Okay, onto the thumb. I love thumbs, I really do. Bloody awkward to film, but I just love thumbs. So the thumb's a bigger nail, so I've laid my bead down on that free edge where the nail joins the form, and I've feathered it back up, and then I'm just gradually patting it into the nail, well, into the form. Now on these Kirsty Meakin forms, the numbers are laid out a bit differently. We went to just below number 1 really. I love these forms. I am going to be using these to do myself a set of badass nails. As the other nails, same as the other nails, just patty pat, tappy tap. Lay that little bead down at the cuticle as well. Oh, I'm just putting one on that stress area because the bead didn't quite join up. You miss that stress area, you are going to get a snapped nail. Same as if you overfile the sides. And this is what I mean about, like, when you have somebody having a short set and they want coffin or ballerina or tapered square, whatever they call it, you have to say to them that you can't taper it in too much, because right at the side where the free edge is at the sides there, if you overfile that, they will snap. For sure, I've had it happen. So if they want a more dramatic taper, they really need a longer nail. Or they need to go for a different shape, like an almond, which is a lot easier, but you just can't, you know, if you over taper it or overfile those sides, you're gonna lose the tip. Okay, this is in your face. This is the yellow neon. This one does marble a bit, and it's unfortunate because it's so nice and bright, but it could be a bit patchy because of the marbling, so you just need to kind of paint over it a little bit here and there. Beautiful colour though. I know neons have a reputation, neons and pastels, don't they? They both have a reputation for being notoriously difficult to mix. I'm not, you know, an acrylic mixing person, so I would not know. As a nail tech, I just go with the flow. So I'm going to put some of those flakes in now, again on that line there, same thing as the others. And yes, for some of you this is repetitive and I really do apologise, but for others, you may have never done this before, so having it shown to you 3 or 4 times in a row, it will stick in your head. It's beneficial. But if it's really annoying you, I apologise. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you could chase my almost 8-year-old hyperactive child around for a day, and then probably be quite grateful of watching nails for 30 minutes. borrowmykid.com. Right, gonna cap it. Nice big bead of clear. Tucking it in. And then working it down the nail. So the reason I wipe my brush off is if I feel acrylic stick to the brush, I do not want to then transfer that to the part I've just smoothed over. So if the acrylic's sitting nicely and it's polymerized nicely, but if I've worked a bit wet and it's sticky, then I will wipe off my brush. Okie dokie. Now I filed off camera because my camera's at a very strange angle. But now we're going in. I've got Angel Crystals, the Raving 80s collection of Swarovskis that are neon. Oh my God, honey. They're so gorgeous. But we didn't want to put the same neon crystal that matches the neon nail. We wanted to alternate. And we've seen this trend going around of like a crystal at the end of the nail. I've seen a couple of people do this. I've seen Lorna from Glitter Planet do it. I've seen loads of people do it. Oh, I wish I could remember everyone's names. You know when you just flick through Instagram and you see things. So I thought, oh, we'll do that then. We literally didn't have a plan until she sat in the chair. And I said, what colours do you want? And she saw a couple of the neons. And I said, oh, do you want all the neons? And it just developed from there. So it was very much in a rush, on the spot, because we didn't have much time. Normally I plan a set before the person even arrives, so that when they sit in the chair, I can just get on with it. But we had to do it all. And I had somebody immediately afterwards. So we were in a bit of a rush. We had about 2 hours from sitting down to getting all the colours out, getting all the glitters out, getting all the gems out, and then starting the nails. So I think we probably had about an hour and a half on nails, maybe an hour and 45. So that's the little crystals applied. Very simple, but it's just different, isn't it? Different and blingy and zhuzhy, and that's what she likes. She's quirky and she likes quirky nails. I'm gonna go in with my top coat, which is Diamond Nail Supply's Tack Free Top Shine. This is like a gel top coat, so it's file off. So it's not affected by chemicals, which is great. I'm gonna go underneath with a thin layer of top coat because we've got that glass effect now. I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
I'm just going to hold my nose so I don't sneeze.
Did you do that? Hold your nose when you feel like you're going to sneeze. Onto that beautiful... I love Frantic Fuchsia from Naio Nails. I think we should all just go buy it. But don't buy it all because then there'll be none left for me. It's one of my favourite colours. I love it. I forgot I had it. It was just in the back of my drawer. I pulled out a swatch stick and my daughter-in-law to be was like, oh, I need that. So that's what triggered all this. I'm like, relax your hand, honey. Relax. Don't get stabby with the hand. You know what it's like when you've got bad hands and you have stiff clients. It's painful, isn't it? Oh, very painful. Thank you for all the well wishes, by the way, and the love. It's amazing how many people have chronic pain conditions and still battle on. And yeah, it's been really nice. I'm feeling great. You can probably tell by my voice. I'm feeling really good. So just had a bad week and a half, but I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm upbeat today. And I'm going to the beach tomorrow. So if my YouTube story at some point this week has become full of beach trips, then that's me going to the beach. Motorbikes. Sorry if you can hear that. And there's a little video at the end. I've cured these for 60 seconds and applied Naff Stuff's Strawberry Daiquiri Cuticle Oil. And here they are. Here are the lovely gorgeous nails on the lovely gorgeous PJ. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's been helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Tally bye!